as we pull out onto the southbound lanes of State Highway 8, leaving the address of 4848 behind in the rearview mirror. Prepare yourself for a beautiful, highly transitional 9-minute drive. We are starting deep in the commercial trench of Allison Park, right in the heart of the northern suburbs of Pittsburgh. The road we are cruising on right now, heavily lined with auto repair shops, massive local businesses, and a constant heavy stream of regional traffic, is the historic William Flynn Highway. For over a century, this exact route has served as a massive, roaring arterial funnel, pulling people, resources, and massive wealth out of the dense, smoky steel valleys of Pittsburgh and filtering them directly into the quiet, rolling northern hills. If you look closely, running almost perfectly parallel to our tires, hidden just behind these modern commercial storefronts, is Pine Creek. 200 years ago, long before the asphalt was poured and the modern traffic lights were installed, that creek was the absolute lifeblood of this specific area. Its rushing waters turned the heavy wooden wheels of early grist mills and sparked the very first, desperate pioneer settlements in this deep valley. The pioneers relied on that rushing water for absolute survival. But we are not going to stay down in this busy, loud commercial trench for very long. Look ahead through the glass as we prepare to make a sharp, deliberate right turn onto Mount Royal Boulevard. The moment our tires hit this new pavement and we make the turn, the entire atmosphere of the drive instantly and dramatically shifts. The heavy, deafening commercial noise of Highway 8 completely evaporates behind us. We are immediately forced to climb, pushing the engine up out of the deep creek valley and ascending directly onto the massive, rolling ridges of the Allegheny Plateau. Look at the towering oak, hickory, and massive maple trees leaning out over the road, casting deep, cool, flickering shadows across the asphalt. This specific topography, with its steep, plunging ravines and high, winding, unpredictable ridges, is the absolute defining characteristic of western Pennsylvania. Unlike the land further north in places like Butler County that was flattened and smoothed out by massive, crushing Ice Age glaciers, this specific patch of earth was carved exclusively by millions of years of rushing water. Endless rainfall and melting snow created a chaotic, beautiful, and deeply isolating landscape of hills and valleys that forced the early road builders to follow the twisted, natural contours of the earth. You can feel the heavy, historic geography working against the vehicle as we continue to climb the steep grade. It is a slow, deliberate ascent into a completely different world, leaving the industrial and commercial valleys far below us. As we navigate the sweeping curves of Mount Royal Boulevard, prepare to make another right turn, this time bringing us onto the dark asphalt of Sample Road. We are now diving straight into the heavily forested, deeply residential heart of Hampton and McCandless townships. Settle deep into your seat and let the quiet, hypnotic rhythm of this winding road completely take over for the next few minutes. Look out at the deep setbacks and the heavy timber framing the properties. If you were looking out this exact window in 1920, you would not see these modern paved driveways, the heavily manicured lawns, or the beautiful mid-century architecture. You would be looking out over massive, sprawling tracts of cleared agricultural land, quiet, highly productive apple orchards, and deeply rutted dirt roads. This entire region was once a massive, quiet farming community, completely separated from the brutal, blistering heat and the thick, suffocating black smoke of the Pittsburgh steel mills sitting just 10 miles to our south. But as you look at the beautiful, deeply settled homes passing by your window today, you are witnessing the absolute, permanent architectural legacy of the post-war American boom. In the 1950s and 1960s, as returning soldiers started families and the massive, chrome-finned automobile granted ultimate geographic freedom, tens of thousands of people fled the dense, aging, soot-covered neighborhoods of the city. They pushed their way north, right up into these exact hills, completely and permanently transforming the quiet, rolling farmland into the sprawling, leafy, deeply affluent suburban canopy you see today. Look at the architecture passing by. You will see classic, sweeping ranch homes and sturdy, split-level designs boasting massive, heavy stone chimneys. They came up here looking for fresh air, open space, a massive backyard, and a quiet piece of the American dream carved right out of the ancient Pennsylvania forests. Keep your eyes on the winding, serpentine path of Sample Road as it cuts its way through the heavy timber. The driving experience here requires constant, absolute attention. The road twists, turns, rises, and falls in total submission to the natural, unforgiving shape of the earth beneath it. In the autumn, this exact corridor absolutely explodes into a brilliant, fiery tunnel of red, orange, and gold leaves, drawing massive crowds of people who drive these specific roads just to witness the shifting seasons. But even today, in the dappled sunlight of the afternoon, the dense, heavy wall of trees completely insulates you from the chaotic rush and deafening noise of the modern world. It is incredibly easy to lose yourself in this quiet canopy and completely forget that you are just a few miles away from the absolute center of a massive, globally recognized metropolis. The isolation here is intentional, beautiful, and deeply protected by the people who call this heavily shaded valley home. We are approaching the final leg of our 9-minute journey now, preparing to make a smooth left turn onto Peebles Road. As we sweep onto this new, wider corridor, the heavy, claustrophobic forest begins to pull back just slightly, revealing the wider, more established, and highly manicured suburban framework of McCandless. The name Peebles itself is deeply, profoundly historic. It echoes all the way back to the very earliest pioneer families who braved the terrifying, trackless wilderness to stake their claims in this specific soil, long before the American nation was even officially formed. They cleared the massive timber by hand, completely isolated from the comforts of the eastern seaboard, and laid the absolute foundations for the roads we are driving on right now. Just a very short distance to our north, hidden just beyond the immediate tree line, sits the massive, sprawling expanse of North Park. That park is a colossal, brilliantly designed county sanctuary built during the darkest, most desperate days of the Great Depression. It permanently cemented this entire area as the premier recreational escape for the entire Pittsburgh region, drawing thousands of city dwellers up into these hills every summer for boating, hiking, and fresh air. The creation of that massive park heavily influenced the development of the road we are driving on right now, turning it from a quiet, muddy country lane into a vital, paved arterial route for families seeking a temporary escape from the Steel City. As we glide steadily down the final stretches of Peebles Road, approaching our final destination at 8390, the forward momentum of the vehicle finally begins to slow. Take a deep, final breath and look at the quiet, enduring, and meticulously maintained community outside your window. Over the last 9 minutes, you have traveled out of a loud, historic commercial trench, climbed the ancient, water-carved ridges of the Allegheny Plateau, and traced the winding, deeply forested roads that fueled one of the greatest, most rapid suburban expansions in American history. You have witnessed the beautiful, quiet, and profoundly green sanctuary of the northern Pittsburgh suburbs, a world completely insulated from the heavy industrial history of the city limits. Thank you for taking this deliberate, immersive 9-minute journey with me and watching the deep, quiet history of Western Pennsylvania unfold right outside your glass.